Maybe just say something for a sound test and then we'll
Just saying something for a sound test.
My name is Taylor Reese, and I'm the principal innovator at Lantern Studios in Edmonton. I'm a big fan of simple definitions. I think it can be a new way to do an old thing or a way to do a net new thing entirely. But my job is to parachute in and understand their business and more specifically the problem space. And so, for me, innovation is often helping others find it in their business. Sometimes it's friction, frustration. Sometimes it's a problem that everybody knows is there and haven't been able to solve for years. But at the end of the day, I bring people together to first identify the problem and the objective. I think a big part of it is knowing your audience. Who are you building this thing for? It doesn't matter if it's a house, a boat, a plane, a bus, a piece of software, a paper airplane. What does it need to do and for who? So I think understanding your audience and their role in shaping the objective is a really big part of it. And another piece I'd say, more on the craft side and the professional personal process, if you will, is the ability to make a plan and an understanding of how to measure against it. Process isn't magic, but a good process will seem to produce magic to those that aren't, involved in it or watching close. Yeah, I think there's been a few, I would call them inflection points in my career. I think actually the one that makes that most clear is, when I've been hiring, mentoring, training other designers. And in user experience, again, back in the day, people came from all different backgrounds, and we were all sort of figuring out how to do this user experience design piece together. And there was this onus on a designer to be, some creative dynamo or, this whole design rock star kind of thing. And that's largely fueled by ego. The inflection point that I would watch for in another designer's work was when they not only got used to the sort of the painful side of feedback, but when they actually looked for it, when they could separate their ego enough from the work. That to me is sort of that pivotal moment in my career and the other designers that I've worked closely with over the years. I think for me, there's a number of things at play. Understanding what you need to do good work, and sometimes it's really simple. Physically clean my desk. It's like I need a fresh start. Sometimes it seems ludicrous. You're like, okay, right, I've got to put together a new slide deck for that thing, and maybe it'll take me 15 minutes, but just by giving myself that mental cue that okay, I'm starting something, and I need it's as much as it's a physical reset, it's a mental reset. I think that's a big part of it is figuring out sort of what are resets and what sets the tone. Another thing about me that I didn't realize with a very late in my life ADHD diagnosis, all the different things that I've habits I've combined and crafted over the years, but I almost always have music going, and I use music to pace and focus my days. It's hard to distill it all down, but I also said that I like simple definitions. There's a mantra that I repeat to myself all the time, but it is simple for who, and there's a lot wrapped up in that, right? Generally in interaction design, user experience design, we're trying to make something simple and intuitive, and for who suggests that you always need to know your audience. Who are you solving for? The advice I give to other creators is the time in to find the right place to practice your craft. Place and people. It took me a long time in my career to figure out, where I best fit. In marketing, I found the conversations were too short. I didn't have the runway to solve the problems that I thought were there and needed to be solved. But, finding the right people vibe, the collaboration piece, coming back to that being a core aspect of it, is there should be some friction, but the friction should be around trying to hit that objective, trying to improve the thing that you're doing. If the friction is the place to process the people, put the time in to find a place that's right for you. I don't think I need to plug anything right now. Certainly if you need some software, let's check out Lantern Studios. But the thing I would say I'd leave you with is, a simple call to action. Just be curious. It'll make you a better professional, it'll make you a better creative, it'll make you a better human.